Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I will explain about solutions and tips and tricks in overcoming existing problems in the workshop. Before we continue this material, I want you to know about what is workshop. A workshop is an activity or practical work on a particular subject where a group of people share their knowledge or experience. A workshop includes all the elements of the seminar, but with the largest portion being emphasized on hand-on practice or laboratory work. The following is an illustration of the workshop. The workshop is for senior teacher, age around 40 until 55 of elementary school in Lampung province. And then the theme of workshop is about teaching children to use learning application from Android. And then there are 3 speakers invited in the event. The goal of workshop is making the teacher can use the application in order that their students can use it too. The problem that must be resolved are the speakers' backgrounds are from IT, and then the speakers are young and too fast in explaining the material. Our speaker is too fast in explaining the material, and then one speaker lost the patience in repeating the explanation, and the last is the audience seems can understand the explaining well. Based on the problems in the workshop illustration, I will provide solutions as well as tips and tricks. The first is the speaker's background are from IT. The solution in this case is that the audience must be made to believe that the background of the speaker is indeed an expert in that field and is in accordance with the theme to be discussed. The MC's job here is very important, namely how to properly introduce the speaker. The MC must make the audience want to hear the speaker and also make the audience believe that the selected speaker is professional and expert in that field, namely IT. Therefore, the speaker is a very appropriate person to fill a workshop with a theme that will be discussed later. This is tips and tricks. Before the day, the MC seek information in advance about the speaker. Then, when introducing the speaker, tell the audience about the topic that will be discussed by the speaker. Then, tell why the topic is important to the audience. Also, tell them why this person was chosen as the speaker on the topic to be discussed. And don't forget to mention the name of the speaker. Next is the speakers are young and too fast in explaining the material. The solution to solving this problem is that the MC can remind the speaker so that they don't deliver the material too quickly because the audience here is senior teachers and are still beginner in the technology. Besides that, on the day before the workshop, the speaker must first get to know the audience that will be faced, because this audience is senior teacher aged around 40 until 55 years. The speaker must adjust and ensure how the language, tone of voice, body language is used and how fast the teacher receives the material. We know that this audience needs extra patience because they are new to the use of gadgets. Therefore, the speaker must be patient and not too fast in delivering the material. In addition, because the speaker is younger than the audience, the speaker can increase credibility and self-confidence by looking good and well prepared. The next problem is all speaker is too fast in explaining the material. So, the solution to solve this problem is that the MC as the show host has a very important role here. The MC must really master all aspects that will affect the smooth running of the show when he guides it. The MC must understand the situation and condition in the workshop. The MC is responsible for ensuring that the program runs on time and according to the sequence of events that have been determined. The MC is responsible for making sure the event starts and ends on time. If the speaker is too fast in delivering the material, the MC can remind the speaker not to be too fast in delivering the material because the audience here is senior teachers and are still beginner in technology. The next is one speaker lost the patience in repeating the explanation. There are several factors that cause the audience to ask for repetition in explaining the material. It could be that the speaker is unclear or too fast in delivering the material. It could also be a factor from the audience itself that is difficult to capture the material being described. So, to minimize this from happening, there are tips and tricks. The first tip is the speaker can be friendly and make all audience comfortable with the atmosphere in the workshop. Then give a little joke so that the audience laugh. And then give passion in every word or movement so your audience can feel it. And then the more the speaker makes a natural workshop and the more people interact, the better the outcomes of the workshop will be. The last problem is the audience seems cannot understand the explanation well. So in this case, the solution is that the MC can open a question and answer session so that the audience can ask about the difficulties they are facing. In addition, as a speaker, you can give examples, practice, and teach more in the material. Show the audience how you mean work. Then, give your audience the opportunity to imitate or try it out right away. Pay attention to your audience if they are having a hard time, and then ask them directly what was hard and what was fun too. Also give a short break regularly as this can relieve boredom and fatigue during the workshop. And then speakers can also include pictures in conveying the material so that the audience can understand better when being spelled out. After the workshop is over, give something or validation so that they can continue the new knowledge they got during the workshop. For example, provide a manual or tutorial that has been made so that the audience can continue to practice or work. Okay, that's enough about the material. I hope all of you can understand my explanation well. Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.